Today, we're going to dive into one of the most powerful and, honestly, one of the most puzzling acts of leadership in all of history. It's a single moment that completely flipped our whole idea of power right on its head.
So picture this. We're in a room in ancient Jerusalem. The air is just thick with tension. You can feel it. It's the final meal, and on this incredibly important night, a leader is about to teach his followers a lesson they will never, ever forget. But he's not going to give a speech. No, he's going to do something.
And that really brings us to the core question here, doesn't it? Why on earth would a master, a teacher, someone they viewed as a king, do the absolute lowest, most menial job imaginable for his own students? It just doesn't make any sense.
Okay, to really get this, we have to put ourselves right there in that room. It's the evening just before the Passover festival. This is a super sacred, really solemn time. And Jesus knows, he knows his hour has come. This is it. This is his last chance to leave his followers with one final, absolutely crucial truth.
So what does he do? In this moment just loaded with meaning, he gets up from the dinner table, takes off his outer robe, which is basically a symbol of his identity and status, and wraps a regular servant's towel around his waist. Then he starts washing the filthy, dusty feet of his disciples. I mean, this wasn't just humble. In that culture, it was absolutely jaw-droppingly shocking.
And just think about how radical this really was. The leader, the master, is suddenly the servant. The sacred Passover meal gets completely interrupted for this. The lesson isn't a lecture, it's being taught with a basin of water and a towel. And maybe the most incredible part? He washes everyone's feet, no exceptions, not even for Judas, the man he knows is going to betray him in just a few hours.
But, to really feel the full weight of this, we have to look past the action itself. We need to talk about the timing, because in this story, when this happens is every bit as important as what happens.
And the source material for this explainer actually points to this really fascinating idea from the ancient Greeks about time itself. And once you get this concept, believe me, the whole story just clicks into place.
So you've got two kinds of time. On one hand, there's chronos. That's just regular clock time. 1 minute ticks by after another. Simple. But then there's kairos. And kairos is totally different. It's not just any moment, it's the moment, the decisive, opportune time, a moment of destiny that changes the entire game. So this whole foot-washing thing, it wasn't just something that happened at dinner time, it was a kairos moment, a major turning point in history.
And a huge, destiny-altering moment like this, well, it doesn't go down without a little drama. Not everyone gets what's going on, especially not the most vocal disciple, Peter. His reaction is actually the key to unlocking what this all really means.
Peter is just horrified. He can't believe what he's seeing. To him, this is totally upside down. His master, the Messiah, is on his knees, acting like a slave. He just thinks it's undignified, it's wrong, and he completely refuses. No way, you will never wash my feet.
And wow, this is where you see the real stakes. Jesus' response is quiet, but it's firm. It's absolute. Unless I wash you, you have no part with me. All of a sudden, this isn't about social rules or dirty feet anymore. This is about belonging. It's about being part of his mission.
So here's the big takeaway. The water in that basin, it stood for something so much deeper. It was a physical symbol of a spiritual cleansing he was offering. So to let him wash your feet meant accepting that cleansing. And if you did that, you were truly, fully part of his community.
So once he's finished, Jesus puts his robe back on, sits down, and finally explains the whole thing. He presents this shocking act not just as a one-off symbol, but as a blueprint, a new model for how to live and how to lead.
And it all comes together in this beautiful three-part lesson. First, you have the example. He shows them that real love, real greatness isn't about having power, it's about humble service. Second, the symbol. To really be connected to him, you have to accept this cleansing, this forgiveness he's offering. And finally, the command. He gives a direct order. Serve one another, just like I have served you. This wasn't a suggestion. This was the new rule.
So we're left with this incredible image. An act of deep humility becomes this radical new model for leadership and for how we treat each other. The source material says this isn't just some old story, but a whole new model for humanity. Which kind of leaves us with a big question, right? What would our world actually look like? Our companies, our communities, our governments, if leadership wasn't defined by who's in charge, but by who's willing to pick up the towel?